Irvin Johnson jumping center, and that's the other Irvin Johnson. Now that Irvin Magic Johnson is back into the league. Rockets win the tip. Rakasner outside, picked up by Hersey Hawkins.
Don't pick up your dribble too soon. They played great defense on not allowing you to get that ball into the corners.
Look who's on Horry. Drexler drives it in, and he's fouled on the play. Well, Gary Payton was stuck on Robert Horry on that first possession. Detlef Schrempf with his first foul.
Well, let's take a look what Bill is talking about here. You got Clyde going to the basket. Unfortunately, we can't see the other side of the floor where Payton got caught inside with a big man. But, you know, Seattle will switch anything because they do a lot of supporting defenses from the weak side, so they don't worry about matchup on height.
I don't think George Karl worries about who guards whom out there. Over the last 6 games, Clyde is shooting 89% from the free throw line. 26 of 29. Make it 27 of 30 now for Clyde Drexler. And the Rockets draw first blood. Gary Payton, one of the best penetrators, passers. He's improved his outside shooting. He really is a fine player. He's going back to the All-Star game this year, 3rd time in a row. He sets from the three-point line, a little too firm.
See, there's where you want to keep him. You want to keep him setting, make him beat you from that range.
He's only 32% from the three-point line. Back outside to Rakasner, weak side. They keep it moving inside. Chucky Brown with a slam. Oh, boy, look at the ball movement by the Rockets.
And also look at the defense that's being played by Seattle. It's called a zone.
Well, we've already had our defensive lecture from Jack Neese.
Yeah, too bad. I just saw another one.
Pass outside. Payton gets another 3, and this one goes right down.
3-point basket, Gary Payton.
Gary Payton on the season, 51 of 158 from the three-point land for 32%. There's Payton now on Drexler. Chucky Brown taking it inside, gets Drexler loose. Back over in the corner, they swing it around and get a worse shot. 5 on the shot clock. Rakasner will work on Shawn Kemp, goes around him, has it blocked by Irvin Johnson, and the shot clock goes off.
That's what you don't want to do. You don't want them to invite you to penetrate, and the weak side man is the center. This is where the block shots come from. Take that little jump shot, a little medium range jumper. If they give it to you, don't be afraid to take that shot and miss.
You know what the Rockets did on the last possession? They passed it from a good shot to not quite so good a shot to even a worse shot. So that's ball movement in reverse. 4-3, Houston by 1. Payton will fire up another 3. Well, he's 1 for 3 from the three-point line. Chucky Brown on the reverse layup, tipped up, won't go in. Olajuwon gets it back. Hersey Hawkins all over Olajuwon's arm, knocks that ball away. Detlef Schrempf in the open court. Passing outside now. Shawn Kemp passing into Irvin Johnson. Shoots it up, misses. Follows it. Drexler, great dribble by Drexler, and Rakasner can't handle it. Good hustle by Drexler.
Rudy keeps standing in front of us yelling, "Get that ball!"
Yeah, he's acquired him a little Texas accent over the years, hasn't he? That ball.
We're in Rome. You got to do as the Romans.
I hear that. Kemp taking it inside. Drexler knocked it away, and it hit the bottom of the basket.
Goes on the side.
Or actually the bottom of the glass, and so the ball will belong to Seattle. 18 seconds on the shot clock.
I like what I see defensively. I see a lot of hand movement. I see them being able to everybody stay bunched up in the key where they have very little chance to penetrate.
Robert Horry right out on Detlef Schrempf. There's across the middle for Shawn Kemp. They called a foul on Chucky Brown, and Kemp was dribbling away from Chucky. Boy, you got to really reach out and get a guy. All right, here's the whistle. He's going.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, all right.
Yeah, all right. Goodness.
Little turnaround by Kemp, short. Rakasner with a rebound.
I like the fact that Rakasner hung around that foul area. That's where guards rebound from.
Got a season high in rebounding against Charlotte a couple of nights ago. Double team on Hakeem. Horry trying to get a pass into Chucky. Chucky will give it up to Olajuwon, spinning in the middle. Spinning again. Robert Horry sets for the 3. Bingo. Robert Horry is back on target. 7-3 Houston. Shawn Kemp takes it baseline for 2.
Can't allow that. Not just with Shawn Kemp, but you've got to cut off that baseline, make them have to reverse, dribble and go into traffic, which is right in the middle of that key.
Hersey Hawkins right behind Clyde Drexler now. They'll go one-on-one. Kemp came over for just a little while. They'll go right back to Clyde again. 10 on the shot clock. Clyde swinging inside. Knocked out. Oh, my goodness. I'm telling you, they did not call a foul, and I could hear that from over here. I'm glad Hawkins didn't break. I'm glad he didn't break his arm.
Be careful on your criticisms, Mr. Worrell.
That's right. I'll watch it.
I won't.
Olajuwon to the middle again. Back out. Chucky Brown, top of the key, short. Drexler with a long rebound. Rekasner sets for a three. Get in there. Nope. Won't go. Drexler has it again. And he saves it to Payton. Back outside. Irvin Johnson drops it down. Robert Horry steals it from Shawn Kemp. Chucky Brown to Olajuwon, and he missed the dunk shot. He gets it back again, takes it to the middle, and the harder shot he makes. That first one was too easy. Shawn Kemp comes down, throws it to Robert Horry. Back to Clyde, sets for a three.
Good.
Yeah!
I know a shot when I see a shot.
And George Karl calls a timeout. We got Calvin, Mr. Karnak, calling the shots before they go in. 12-5 Houston.
Circuit breaker. Check.
Rockets lead in the early going. Here's a look at the Midwest and Pacific standings brought to you by Hoover. San Antonio and Utah, as I told you, winning last night. Houston has to win to keep pace with those two teams. And Seattle, 7 games up on Sacramento and the Lakers. And watch this Rockets defense.
Anytime that you can get yourself an opportunity to dislodge that ball, you can get the start of a fast break that will end up in a shot like this by Clyde Drexler. By the way, I called the shot, so I want people to know that I still have an eye for jump shooters.
Calvin Karnak.
Karnakis.
Well, the rebounding, the Rockets, 5 offensive rebounds already. That's very un-Rocket-like. How about that? So George Karl wanting a timeout. He doesn't want the Rockets to get off to a great start here tonight and get in the rhythm. Detlef Schrempf, deadly shooter from the three-point land.
Yeah. Anytime that you rotate and you rotate off of Detlef Schrempf, he's not going to do anything but zero in on that basket. He's not looking to pass, so you've got to either run at him quickly or don't leave it all. 44%
from the three-point line for Detlef, and that's down a little bit from what he has done in past seasons. Robert Horry passes out to Olajuwon from 15. Hakeem with 4 points, 5 for Drexler, 3 for Horry. And falling down is Gary Payton, Houston's ball.
It's interesting to see Robert Horry go back into the post-up position. It's been a long time since we've seen him post up and start a play.
Well, it's been a long time since he's felt good. I think his legs are back now, and he's feeling better, and he's played his way back into shape. Drexler gives it up to Hakeem, gets another good look, missed it. Clyde tips it to himself, back to Schrempf, back to Horry. So Clyde Drexler kept that ball alive. Here's a triple team on Hakeem. Somebody's open. Rekasner saves it to Horry, puts up a three, missed it. No! Drexler with a tip in, but a loose ball foul is called on Clyde.
Good call. Clyde goes to the basket like a young gorilla. Up and over.
Looked pretty good to me, and Irvin Johnson had position.
Yeah, he moved in to Clyde when Clyde was in the air.
Yeah. 14-8. Rockets lead it. Down inside now to Hersey Hawkins. Tough shot won't go. He's fouled on the play, and is that Clyde?
That's Clyde's second.
That's number 2 on Drexler. So now Rudy will go to the bench for Sam, but it's not going to be coming in for Rekasner. He's coming in for Clyde Drexler.
So Sam is going to have to defensively pick up Payton and put Rekasner over on Hersey Hawkins.
But you know, they've done that before with good success. It seems like Rekasner is very comfortable at that 2-guard spot. And Sam does come into the game. Hersey Hawkins, what a fine acquisition this was for the Seattle SuperSonics. Came in in a trade for Kendall Gill. There's Sam coming in. And Clyde Drexler, very active here early. 5 points and a couple of steals. Hawkins came out of Bradley University. Remember, he was on that bronze medal-winning team, and he was the only shooter that John Thompson had. He got hurt, and they lost to the Russians. But always been a great shooter and a good team player. There's Horry beating him off the dribble. Kasner gets a step on Hawkins. Back to Olajuwon from 15. Good ball movement.
Everything was based on Robert Horry playing Scottie Pippen out there, bringing that ball up as the point forward, moving the ball around quickly.
Detlef Schrempf keeps it moving to Johnson. Back inside. Payton takes a step back. Missed the shot. Horry tips it to Kasner. Olajuwon's already underneath. The trailer is Chucky Brown.
Kasner is doing a super job rebounding because he's staying around that foul line again. That's the area that has been lacking for the Rockets.
Percy Hawkins off the run. Oh, that ball was going in, but they'll call it off because Irvin Johnson touched the ball above the rim. Offensive goaltending. That ball was going in anyway. There it is. It was going to get a friendly roll, and he touched it right there, and that called the basket off. 18-10, Rockets lead at 5:15 left to play first quarter. Cassell gets a pick. Back out to Chucky at the top of the key.
Oh, you can't take that in there.
And a loose ball foul on Hakeem Olajuwon. I don't believe in bounce passes to big men.
And especially a bounce pass into traffic. If Chucky takes it, right here is dangerous because you have two defenders in front from the beginning. If he swings that one more pass to the forward area or the sideline, now Olajuwon is moving towards the ball. You have a better angle to get that pass in.
George Karl is not shy about going to his bench, and Vincent Askew out of Memphis State, a 6-year pro, will check in. The only thing I can say about Vincent Askew, if you like Mario Elie, you'll like Vincent Askew. They do almost the same things. They're very similar players. Very good guys to have on your team. Now, Irvin Johnson, as you could tell by those two releases, is not a good free throw shooter. He only shoots them at 60%, and he missed both. Rockets still lead by 8. Down to Olajuwon now, working on Johnson. Beautiful move to the middle.
Now, that's downright ugly.
Oh.
He got a head-to-shoulder fake and had Johnson over there trying to guard Sam Cassell.
Johnson's still trying to relace his shoes right now.
Oh, his shoes, huh?
Well, I cleaned that up a little bit. There's Shawn Kemp as he takes it inside low. Yeah, you would point that up, wouldn't you? 4 points for the Rain Man.
You're such a nice guy, Mr. Bell.
Back to an 8-point Houston lead, 20-12. Olajuwon trying to post up inside. Chucky Brown drops it off. Hakeem will take it baseline. Missed it.
Now, Chucky should have taken that shot. 2 inches from the basket.
Askew has it knocked away, out of bounds. Houston's ball. Nope, he pointed to Houston at first, Ron Olesiak. Now he changed his mind. Jack Neese, Olesiak, and Monty McCutcheon are the officials tonight. Neese, Olesiak, and McCutcheon. Sam Perkins checks in now. And Irvin Johnson will get a rest. 13 on the shot clock. Payton turns the corner. Can't let him get there, but he missed it anyway. Kemp picks up the loose ball. He's trapped on the baseline. Back out to Askew. 3 seconds on Seattle. Kemp, as soon as Kemp passed it, he'd been stuck in there, and he didn't get out of the lane quick enough.
The only thing that frightened me is that's a little too much activity by Kemp on that offensive board.
Turnovers so far in the game, and the Sonics will always cause more turnovers than they have. They've had 17 turnovers this season. They've created 19. Down to Olajuwon now. Hooks it up. Didn't have a real plan on that shot. Shawn Kemp gives it up to Askew on the wing. Perkins, a great shooter from the outside. And you've got to stay with him all over the court. Shot clock down to 7 seconds. Perkins releases, misses. Nice pass inside to Kemp. Robert Horry got a hand on it. Back outside, Hersey Hawkins with a 3. Missed it. Kasner with a long rebound. Gives it up to Sam Cassell. Rockets lead by 8, looking for more. And trying to use that pick from Robert Horry. Now he's got Hawkins on him. They want to go to that mismatch. There it is. Horry back outside to Kasner for a 3. Off the mark. Chucky Brown with a rebound. Takes it inside, and he's fouled.
Oh, no. They called an offensive foul on Chucky.
It's on Robert Horry.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out how did Chucky Brown get the offensive foul. Let's take a look at it again quickly here. There's the rebound, and okay, Robert holds him off.
We've got a timeout on the court. 2:53 left in the first period. Rockets up by 8. That's the score with 2:53 left in the first. Football fans, prepare yourself for the Texas Terror. Houston has never seen anything like it. Wall-to-wall action. And get in on the inaugural season of arena football in Houston. The Texas Terror. Call a personal account executive at 627-PASS and get the scoop on the Texas Terror. Mark Bryant has checked into the Houston lineup.
Well, the way they're calling the fouls out there, he better be very careful.
Shooting so far in the game, Nate McMillan has also checked in for Seattle. Payton taking it in for an easy 2. Went right down that baseline, and nobody stepped in front of him. And it's 2014, Rockets by 6. Askew is matched up with Robert Horry. Bryant and Kemp muscling inside. Taking it around to Olajuwon's side. That's always a good choice. Hakeem backing up. Good defense by Seattle. Sam has to force one up. And Kemp with a rebound. Nate McMillan.
Mr. Dangerous. I don't want him nowhere near me when I got that ball in my hand.
This is a 3. Rimmed it out. Went in, took a peek, and came out.
This is where Sam should finish the playoff. Just simply play one-on-one.
McMillan right back in Olajuwon's lap. Robert Horry on the
Look at it, Robert. Look at that basket.
Perkins reaching in. There's a double team again. They got to swing it around. Rakasner is wide open.
Great ball movement.
Gary Payton skates his way inside and has it blocked. I think Robert Horry got it.
But see what the Rockets are doing. Anytime Payton penetrates, they're abandoning their post, and they're just simply coming in there, and they're trying to cut off angles because they know he's too much for one person to handle.
Well, he's super quick. He's toned his game down. He plays within the system now very well. Still a very good individual one-on-one player if he needs to be. He's tough in their system. Askew sets for a 3. Misses. Olajuwon with the rebound. Has it taken away right into the hands of Horry, and he gets it out to Sam. Sam on the run. Rockets lead by 9. Down to Hakeem again. Draws the double team and a foul. Payton reaches in. Let's go to Lisa Milosky.
Bill, we talked about production off the bench earlier tonight. Well, the Rockets will have Kenny Smith available tonight. He was supposed to fly to South Carolina for his grandmother's funeral, but the weather was so bad the plane couldn't land, so Kenny is here tonight. Bill?
So it's good to have Kenny at any time. And Olajuwon swinging in baseline. That was the 4th team foul on Seattle. Rockets swing it around to Sam. Sam on the drive, lays it up, yes.
Oh, nice penetration after great ball movement.
25-14 Houston. Kemp saw Olajuwon, passed off to Perkins. Missed the 3, tipped out. Boy, Seattle settling for a lot of 3s here. Kemp from the outside, he misses.
Look where all the rebounds are coming, Bill.
Right, that's because they're taking 3-point shots.
That's right, they're taking perimeter shots.
Sam misses on a 3. Kemp gets it out quickly. They've got the numbers now. Payton on the run, cut off by Rakasner nicely. Good job, passes out to Askew. Takes it inside for 2. Seattle shooting only 28% from the field, 2 of 9 from the 3-point line. So 9 of the 21 shots by Seattle, 3-pointers. Inside, Mark Bryant. 13 seconds left in the quarter, and Seattle will go for the final shot.
I'm glad the Rockets scored on that. They didn't want to take that.
Payton had to force one to the corner. Askew getting it outside, and there is the buzzer to end the first quarter of play. And that's about as good of defense as the Rockets have played in a big game all season. First 12 minutes of play, the Rockets dominate 27-16. Rockets with a beautiful first quarter, leading the SuperSonics 27-16. Tonight's first period game summary is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Payton with 5, Kemp with 4, Olajuwon 8, Drexler with 5. Only 29% shooting for Seattle. The Rockets 46%. And the Rockets 3 of 7 from the three-point line.
Here's what Gary Payton is good at. Gary will post you up, and he feel a little pressure, and he'll go right around you for that reverse layup. You got to be very careful that he can't feel you that well. And then Sam Cassell does a nice job just finding himself a little seam to crease his way through, and bang, scores for the Rockets.
Murph, we want to welcome Chuck Amos to the game tonight. He was an all-city ball player in Indianapolis in 1942 and a longtime fan of yours and Rudy T. He's a cancer patient, and he's here at the game tonight, and we just wanted to say, did well, Chuck.
Well, you know, if he was all-city in Indiana, you know he must have been some kind of ball player, because they got some players in Indiana.
Here's a driving layup by Gary Payton. 27-18. Drexler back into the game now. Askew will pick him up. And he knocks the ball away from Drexler. Knocked back into the backcourt. The Rockets can still get a shot off, but they're going to have to hurry. Shot clock's at 4. Shot clock's at 3. Putting it up. Off. It didn't hit the rim. And a 24-second violation.
Clyde is going to have to be very careful exposing that ball now. There's twice that the ball was dislodged from his hands. Twice I thought it should have been called, but it wasn't, so he's got to take matters into his own hands and protect it just a little better.
Shawn Kemp will sit down, and Frank Brickowski will check into the game. Here's another free agent picked up by the Sonics in the offseason, and he's fitted in nicely to George Karl's idea of having some role players to go along with his stars. Brickowski's done a good job off the bench. Askew leans in off the glass, won't go. Bryant gets the loose ball to Sam Cassell. 9-point Houston lead.
Yeah, that's what you do with McMillan. You put him in front of you.
Sam back outside to Rick Kasner. Over to Mark Bryant now. He's got McMillan on him, and McMillan with a foul. That was smart of Mark to go ahead and go to the basket. McMillan a lot smaller than he is. Tonight at midnight on Press Box, get the latest news, notes, highlights, and updates from around the world of women's sports. Get it all on Press Box coming up at midnight here on Prime Sports. Press Box is where you first heard Magic was coming back. Everybody said we were crazy. Look what happened. Drexler gets a double team, throws it to an open spot. Sam goes and gets it. On the drive, lays it up for 2. Boy.
Sammy, slamming Sammy.
I tell you, that looked a little like Gary Payton. I think Sam can drive to the basket with the best of them.
Well, we've always known that.
Yeah. 29-18 Rockets. Whistle away from the ball and a foul on Eldridge Rickasner.
You know, so often talking about Sam and his penetration, so often he settled for the outside perimeter shot. Whereas he's been able to, anytime you get a situation for Sam, he can find it. Rickasner's tough little player. Payton lost his balance. He's going to go down. He's going to get the benefit of the doubt. He has a little more clout out there than Rickasner does.
Nate McMillan on the outside. They'll go to Perkins. Double team comes over. Bryant knocks it away. Mark Bryant starting to play some defense now, and he did a great job on Larry Johnson a couple of nights ago in the fourth quarter for Houston. Sam forced one up, and the rebound up and good by Charles Jones. Boy, that's keeping your eye on where the basketball's going, isn't it?
Well, all shot blockers keep a good eye on the basketball anyway.
Brickowski with a 3. Now, he can do that. He's a good shooter from the outside. He's 36% from the three-point line. That's his 16th three-pointer this season. 31-21, Rockets by 10. They'll swing it around to Sam. Sam faked the shot a couple of times. Shot clock now under 10. Illegal defense. And a good smart job by Cassell to point that out to the official. That's the first illegal defense called here tonight. 3 of the top 9 in steals in the NBA are in this game, and 5 of the top 19. So that's why protecting the ball will be so important.
I tell you, I talk so much about reaching. They've been about 7 reaches tonight and not one call.
And Perkins knocked it out of bounds. So 14 left on the shot clock. Charles Jones, Mark Bryant, Drexler, Rickasner, and Sam Cassell for Rudy's Ball Club. Double team coming to trap the ball down to Charles Jones. He'll swing it out to Rickasner. Gets a good look on a 3. Eldridge Rickasner. 6 points on a couple of three-pointers. McMillan launches one up a little quick, and Perkins runs it down in the corner. Rakowski all alone again, fires up another three, missed it. Bryant tips it over to Charles Jones. Drexler leaves it out to Rakasner, and he's picked up by Payton. Three, air ball.
Very untimely shot. He rushed that shot. The defense was in pretty good positioning on him on that one.
Askew ran into his own guy.
His own man.
Foul is called to Houston's 22.
Drexler is called for his third foul of the game. And Rakasner says he needs to come out too, so Rudy's going to have to go to his bench for a couple of players. Well, I can't see it. I see Perkins lose his balance.
They called holding on Clyde on Perkins is what happened.
All right.
I guess. That's the only thing I could see.
Put Askew at the line, man. So Robert Horry, Tim Breaux, and Olajuwon will check back into the game. Drexler, Charles Jones, Rakasner will come out. As usual, Charles Jones doesn't play a lot of minutes, but he's usually effective when he's in there. Askew missed the first free throw. He'll have another. He's a 78% free throw shooter. This guy reminds me so much of Mario. They do a lot of the same things. Except Mario makes his free throw. Well, so does Askew normally. 34-21, Rockets lead. 8:18 left to play in the second quarter. Cassell looking for Olajuwon now, down low. And Bukowski fronting him. Hakeem gets the ball back. Takes it to the middle. Jump hooks it up for two. Boy, he earned every bit of that basket. 15-point Houston lead, largest of the game. Sam picks up McMillan. Looking down at Perkins now. He's got Bryant right on his hip. Perkins left-handed, and that's where he goes with it.
It's interesting that Dream was standing right there, and he didn't challenge that shot.
Well, he already has a foul. He may not want to pick up number 2 this early. Timmy Breaux looking into Bryant. Bryant faking Rakowski off. This is the shot. Gets it back. Lays it up. Oops! It rolled right in and out. And Detlef Schrempf will rush it up. He's getting back into shape now after missing about 19 games with a fractured leg. And the foul is called.
Houston foul number 10.
Sam Cassell. First foul on Sam.
Perkins never saw him.
That's the third team foul on Houston, one team foul on the Sonics. 7:10 left in the second. Perkins trying to get in post-up position on Bryant. There it is. Swinging one way, back the other. Breaux comes over to help out. Shot clock down to 7. Good passing by the Sonics. Bukowski missed the shot, however, but the Sonics get it back.
Don't let Sam shoot that one.
Boom.
Don't let Sam shoot that one.
You can hang a wash on his shot, can't you?
Yeah, arms are so long. What would be an arc shot for us is a straight liner for him.
Perkins always one of the top three-point shooters in the NBA, and Rudy wants a timeout. 6:38 left to play in the first half. Rockets 36, Sonics 26. Rockets basketball on Prime Sports. 6:38 left to play in the first half. Here is tonight's Hustle Board, brought to you by your local Chevrolet dealer. And Houston with 3 more assists than Seattle. And ahead in rebounding. So the Rockets show you why they're ahead by 10 on the scoreboard. Let's go courtside to Lisa.
Well, Prime Sports Spotlight, Bill, we want to show you what the bench production has been. Seattle outscoring Houston 10-8, but the Rockets out-rebounding the Sonics 6-2, and the Rockets have 2 steals. Sonics zip off the bench. Looking pretty good at this point. Back to you, Bill.
Timmy Breaux had a nice move, but he forgot to put the ball on the floor.
Twice. I thought I heard a little Sam Cooke singing, cha-cha-cha.
T-ta-ta. 36-26 Rockets. Hawkins coming off that pick. Nice pick up by Olajuwon as he knocks it away.
The Rockets are doing a nice job keeping their eye on the ball on any cutters going through.
Olajuwon going baseline, and he picks up a foul. And it's charged
Sonics foul number 34,
Frank Brickowski. First foul on Brickowski. Shawn Kemp back into the game now. Brickowski will sit down.
He did his job. Got a nice little three-pointer, a little rebounding.
Now Kemp will pick up Bryant. Perkins will stay on Olajuwon. Perkins with those long arms, probably a little more effective on Hakeem.
Plus, they don't want to get Kemp in foul trouble.
Double teamed, and Sam threw it right to Hersey Hawkins, who had fallen. You got to get it to the pass to Hakeem a little quicker. Hawkins had time to react. Perkins wide open again. Boy, you just can't let him tee it up like that.
What did you say, teeing up? Is that a drive?
Yeah, 8 points in a row now by the Sonics, and they're right back in this game, 36-29. Rockets' offense has become a little stagnant. Robert Horry back out to the corner, a little jumper. Yeah, now that's more like it. Yeah, but nevertheless, Robert Horry's got to shoot the ball some. They're rotating off of him. They're not even guarding Robert right now. There's one man roaming around like a free safety in football. Yeah, Robert's taken only 2 shots. He's made 1. There's Kemp driving to the middle. Missed the shot. Mark Bryant with good defense and the rebound. And here comes Cassell again. 5:08 left to play in the quarter. Sam with a 360 move. Back over to Tim Bro. Good catch. Robert Horry taking it in on Detlef Schrempf. And instead of going ahead and finishing the shot, he passed it off and passed it out of bounds. Payton will check back into the game for Seattle, and Chucky Brown will check in for Houston. Once again, I'm going to get a great big hypodermic needle, and I'm going to put some Murphyisms in it, and I'm going to stick it in the arm of some of these shooters. I'm telling you what, their arm will just start going nuts. Just going start going crazy. They might strangle themselves. Now remember Dr. Strangelove? You know, when he. Now that's not called for, Bill Worrell. That's pure blood. Their arm will start going like that all the time. They'll have to eat like this. 38-29, Rockets lead. You can't give them a shot of that Murphy stuff. There's Kemp foul now underneath. And the foul is called on Hakeem Olajuwon before the shot. That's number 2 on Hakeem. Kemp with only 4 points in this game. He's been held down quite effectively, averages 21 a game. Detlef Schrempf, jumper, little fade away, not there. Good defense. Here's another rebound by Rakasner. Let me see what he's done here. That's got to be about 5 or 6 of 5 up. Here you go. Olajuwon spinning inside, waits for them to set, and he draws a foul from Hersey Hawkins. And Robert Horry is down. Down at the other end, I was watching the action, and he's limping badly. And he's grabbing his shin. Did he get kicked there? So Rudy has to call a timeout or a 22nd. Is he out of 20 seconds? There's Dr. Bruce Mosley now going down to help out Ray Melchiori, the Rockets trainer. So Tim Bro now will check in for Robert Horry. All right, let's watch it again. Detlef Schrempf has the ball, and there didn't appear to be any contact here, Calvin. Okay, let me see. Okay. He pulled up Wayne right there. Now, he may have been kicked. No, you know, going by him, huh? Well, he might have pulled a calf muscle, it seemed like. That's when he grabbed the back of his calf when he was during the play. Olajuwon gets the free throws. Hakeem with 14 points, and it's 40-29. Houston. The Rockets can't afford any more injuries. You hold your breath every minute. And there's Payton. Boy, that was just a little handoff to the halfback going up the middle. He never got slowed down, and the Rockets throw it away. So Seattle now will pester and pester until they make some things happen, and that's what they're doing here. Perkins will come out of the game. Payton will bring it in. Brickowski is back in with 4 minutes left to play in the second quarter. Rockets lead by 9. Turnovers so far in the game. Rockets with 9. Shawn Kemp working it inside. Tough shot, won't go. Good defense, Chucky Brown. That was blocked by Chucky Brown. Get on down, Chucky Brown. Remember Fred Brown, who used to play for Seattle? Downtown Freddie Brown. That's yes, right. Sir. Downtown Timmy Bro. Well, he was closer to uptown on that shot. Overshot it. Detlef Schrempf. Hersey Hawkins with a 3. Right to the bottom. And now the three-pointer is up to 43%. They're 6 of 14. So Seattle, after starting off only 2 for 9, Sonics have hit 4 of their last 6. Hakeem, all in one motion baseline, misses it, and the rebound to Kemp and a foul on Timbro. And that's the 5th team foul on the Rockets. Let's go to Lisa.
Well, Bill, Robert Horry checking back into the lineup. I talked with Dr. Bruce Mosley. He was kicked in the shin. Doesn't appear to be anything serious. They will double-check it at halftime. Bill?
All right, we showed the replay, and it didn't appear to be any contact, but apparently we didn't see it. And he was kicked as he went by the first time. And so Shawn Kemp will be at the line to shoot the bonus. Well, talk about a player who showed so much potential and excitement. And remember, he didn't play college ball when Shawn Kemp came into this league. He's been around a long time now, and he
was very unhappy. They were trade rumors a couple years ago.
Can you believe there were trade rumors for Pippen? Kemp for Pippen.
Not bad. If you got traded for somebody, why not Pippen?
40-36, a 4-point Houston lead. And Brakowski knocks it out of bounds. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. And the Houston offense has gone dead here in the second quarter.
One thing the Rockets don't want to do is hesitate on the shot.
Timeout on the court. 2:48 left to play. Portions of tonight's game are brought to you by your local Chevrolet dealers. And by Hoover. Nobody gets the dirt like Hoover. Nobody. Well, in this quarter, Houston only 5 of 14 from the field for 36%. And Seattle has outscored Houston 20-13 in this quarter. So the Rockets doing a good job of shutting down the Sonics in the first quarter, but the Sonics have returned the favor here in the second. That's the shooting so far here in the second period. Rockets will be sending out Horry and Olajuwon, along with Chucky Brown, Sam Cassell, and Eldridge Rakasner. Payton, Hawkins, Kemp, Schrempf, and Brakowski for Seattle.
Kemp, Schrempf, and Brakowski.
That's right. If you can say it, you can get it. 8 seconds.
Got me hungry for some seafood.
All right, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Sam's got to make it happen. Shoots it over Kemp. Missed it, tipped up and in. Chucky Brown. Well, when Kemp goes away from the basket, Chucky got a little active. That was a big tip-in, too, because Sonics had reached within 4 points of Houston. Offensive foul. Frank Brakowski setting a lively pick at the top of the key. Payton used it, but the foul was called on Brakowski. That's his second foul of the game. Of course, does not count as a team foul. Rakasner out high, gives it over to Horry, looking down, drops it to Olajuwon, double team on Hakeem. Rakasner from way downtown, rattles won't go, and Chucky Brown tips it away, but a loose ball foul called on Chucky.
Boy, that's unfortunate because that shot by Rakasner touched a little cord inside that rim. Let's take a look at this one again. It's not a bad guy. He was downtown on that one, but it goes inside and comes out.
You know, Eldridge really fired up for this game tonight because he played, of course, and starred for the Yakima Suns, as did Chucky Brown up in Washington, so they know a lot of these players. Not too far from Seattle. Detlef Schrempf missed 19 games with a fracture, a non-displaced fracture of his left fibula. And while he was out, George Karl thinks that's when Seattle really bonded together. They closed the gap and went on a winning streak and took over first place in the Pacific Division with Schrempf out with the injury. So they're that much stronger with him back in the lineup. 2 minutes remaining to play in the second quarter. Chucky Brown from 17. Oh, that ball went in, came out. Olajuwon with a steal on Brakowski, and he's fouled by Brakowski. Quick hands of Hakeem Olajuwon.
You know, earlier when the game first started, I talked about the activity around the basket with the hands. The Rockets have done a nice job keeping those hands active, dislodging the ball and getting something out of the possessions.
That's the third foul on Frank Burkowski. So Perkins will check in for him anyway. Hakeem will have 2. Hakeem, very quietly, has moved his free throw percentage, Calvin, up to 71%. Remember, he was mired down around 62 for a long time this season.
Well, if he's done it quietly, he doesn't want you to mention it.
Oh, okay. I won't.
All right, there you go.
Got to back off every now and then.
Every now and then.
4 for 4 from the line. Rockets 6 for 6 as a team. 44-38, Houston leading it. Shawn Kemp has it knocked away by Robert Horry again. That's the third time Horry has knocked the ball away from Shawn Kemp. Looking down to Olajuwon, working on Perkins, takes one dribble. Back outside, Recasner for another 3. Eldridge, Recasner with 8, make it 9 points.
Big shot.
That may be his third one. And it's knocked away again. Chucky Brown gives it up to Sam. Sam, low to Chucky. And the Houston Rockets get this crowd up in the Summit. George Karl wants a 22nd timeout. Boy, 7 explosive points in a row by Houston.
I tell you, everything is started by the fact that the Rockets defensively are knocking that ball loose, and every time they get an opportunity to score, they make it happen. Great ball movement by the Rockets.
Well, Prime Sports and the Texas Lottery have revised the jackpot contest. Have made it even easier for you to win. Names drawn from entries will now be automatic jackpot winners and receive 100 scratch-off lottery tickets. Tune into the postgame show to see if you're the jackpot winner. All previous jackpot entries will still be eligible to win in the new Texas Lottery Jackpot Contest. To enter, send a postcard to the address on your screen and then watch the postgame show to find out if you're a winner. Good luck from Prime Sports and the Texas Lottery. Now the Rockets will call a 22nd timeout. I think Rudy had to call that timeout to make a substitution.
Yeah, they wanted to get Jones in for Dream.
Hakeem with 2 personal fouls. They didn't want him picking up number 3, and so they put Charles Jones in with 1:07 left in the quarter. But the Rockets have 7 points in a row and moved up to an 11-point lead.
And everything has been based on the fact that the Rockets have played tremendous defense.
Carol Dawson, our old Baylor Bear and assistant coach, longtime assistant here, now for Rudy T, will be the subject of Lisa Molosky's halftime interview tonight. Big Orange will talk about the Rockets. Now they are preparing for the stretch run here after the All-Star game. Hawkins outside, picks up a little pick, went in and followed his miss, puts it up for 2. That's just alert basketball by Hersey Hawkins. He knew as soon as that ball left his hand it was short.
Because it was great defense. He threw it up on the rim to get to it. That's the kind of shot that was. It was a pass to himself off the backboard.
Rockets want to get 2 for 1 in this possession. Shot clock is down to 9 seconds. Detlef Schrempf is stuck on Cassell. Cassell taking it to the middle. Little mini hook. And Robert Horry goes up and gets it. Knocked out. Oh, nope. Kemp saved it. Gets it out to Schrempf. 20 seconds left, and Seattle will go for 1 shot. And look out for the old 3 here on the Payton possession. Nope, Payton not going to drive. 7 seconds left. Inside to Kemp, and it goes, and that could be a 3 the old-fashioned way. He's fired by Charles Jones, fouled, and Kemp will shoot.
Well, the Rockets, the only good thing about that situation is that the Rockets still will get the ball back with 4 seconds on the clock, 3.9 seconds, a chance to vindicate themselves for allowing Payton to get out of this trap. They did a nice job. Unfortunately, that left Kemp around the basket by himself. CJ tried to come back and close that gap and was caught on the foul.
Rockets so far doing a great job of keeping a lid on Kemp, but you worry about that. He might bust it open at any minute. All right, almost 4 seconds left. Long down court pass to Horry, and it's out of bounds off of Seattle, off Kemp with 2.2 left. So the Rockets better their position. Now with over 2 seconds left, they'll have a chance to get a better shot. but the officials are huddling again.
That means the Rockets lose.
Man, never fails, does it? If officials get together and talk it over, the Rockets aren't going to get the benefit of it. You can bet that. Taking it down now, Robert Horry knocks it away, and that will end the first half of play from the Summit. Well, Rudy's got to be happy with the way the Rockets have played so far as they go to the locker room leading this game 49-43 over Seattle. All right, again, a very closely contested game, as it always is when these two get together. Rockets have historically had trouble with the Seattle SuperSonics. George Karl and his staff will be coaching the Western Conference All-Stars in San Antonio in about a week. Taking it down, Frank Brickowski knocked away by Robert Horry into the hands of Kemp. Back outside to Schrempf, and he's short on the three-point shot. Well, they really got a better look than they thought they would get. Schrempf usually pretty accurate on that three-point shot. Missed there. Double team comes on Hakeem, where Kasner gets another good look at a three.
Oh, yeah. He's in a zone. He's in a zone. And I don't mean an illegal defense zone either.
Well, he's settling down and settling in, isn't he?
Yes, he is. And his teammates will have confidence in him, and they're rotating that ball around to him.
Schrempf misses. Chucky Brown with a rebound. So Detlef Schrempf has missed twice. Kasner going right down to Olajuwon. Here's Schrempf coming over to help out. And the pass inside. Payton came over from the weak side and took it away. Shawn Kemp. Percy Hawkins.
Yeah, that's a little too easy. Where Kasner has hit his last two shots, they need to start the ball opposite him, bring it back to him when they rotate off to give him another look at that three. He's shooting it well, and they still haven't gave him the respect of staying on him.
Nice pass, Robert Horry. Chucky Brown is fouled on the way to the basket. Chucky Brown having a nice game tonight. That's 10 points, looking for 11.
That's his second, first team foul.
That was the fourth foul on Frank Brickowski.
Robert Horry in that last particular play did a nice job looking and watching the movement of teammates, saw that the defense was out of position, was able to get it up and over where Chucky was able to score.
You know, what Robert saw and what is good to see if you're on offense is that Brickowski had his back to him so he couldn't see the entry pass.
Looking for Olajuwon, that's why his back was turned.
10-point Houston lead. Percy Hawkins picked up by Drexler. Back outside, Schrempf again. Robert Horry right on him. Schrempf forces one up and a foul on Robert. Here tonight's Coors Light Prime Sports upcoming schedule, we'll have the Mavericks on the 13th of February after the All-Star break, then the San Antonio Spurs on the 15th, and the Sacramento Kings on the 19th. So it doesn't get any easier because Dallas has started to play very well now. And the Mavericks been hurt by some injuries this year, but they're starting to get it together. They beat Seattle in Dallas a couple of nights ago. Boy, what a game they played in that one. Schrempf gets both free throws. Jason Kidd had a triple-double in that game.
Tell you what, he's some kind of a ball player. Yes, he is. It was good to see him make the All-Star team on the vote of the fans. He's starting to recognize the young talent in the game.
Shot clock down to 10 seconds. Taking it in. Olajuwon had to catch that one-handed with Brickowski holding on to the other arm, and Kemp tips it to himself. 55-47 Rockets. Kemp gets a step, takes another. He got called for traveling. That was a late whistle. I was wondering. Of course, Kemp feels like why he took the extra step is he got a bump.
He got knocked into another step.
And I can appreciate that. Kasner over to Clyde now. He hasn't been able to play that much. He's been in foul trouble. Passing off to Robert Horry for a three-pointer. Yes. Robert had that English on it. It started to drift to the right, and Robert got in, kind of squatted down and oozed over to the left to try to ease that ball in, and he did.
Don't reach over him. I told him too late, Bill.
Yeah, the ball had already been thrown in.
But that was a good foul on Chucky. Chucky got caught out of position, and he fouled intentionally to stop an easy basket.
Third foul on Chucky and the second team foul on Houston, so it's not a shooting violation.
So Chucky knows he's out of position. If he catches that ball down low, Kemp is going to score.
Kemp has it again down low. Back outside. Gary Payton picked up by Rakasner. Bumps him off. Good pickup by Chucky Brown. Good defense by Houston. Drexler goes for the steal. That leaves Hawkins open. He missed the shot. Rakasner to Drexler. He's got to beat Brickowski. And he's fouled, and that is the 5th foul on Frank Brickowski.
Now, that's smart passing on the part of Rakasner. He had Clyde Drexler out in front on a one-on-one situation with Brickowski. Got the ball out to him. As soon as he receives the ball, he sees that Clyde is caught on a one-on-one, and he knows that Clyde has the advantage. Going to the basket. Great quarterbacking on the part of Rakasner.
That's what I love so much about the pro game. They don't call the charging foul as much in the pros, and I like that. I think the charging foul...
That's a bailout.
Yeah, it lets a lesser player get a foul called against a better player.
Sure.
Who beats him to the basket, and you just jump over in front. I see too many charging calls in college ball. I don't like it. Plus, you get a guy hurt. Drexler gets both free throws. That was only the 4th foul on Brickowski. They changed that last one on him to Detlef Schrempf. Payton with a beautiful pass from Schrempf. 60-49, Rockets by 11. 8:52 left to play in the third quarter. Here comes the trap on Rakasner. Swinging around, Robert Horry, another 3. Off the mark so badly that the long rebound comes out to Rakasner. New 24 for Houston, and a foul is called on Brickowski.
Now that's the 5th one.
Foul is called on the Sonics, number 34, Frank Brickowski, his 5th personal foul.
Dream had a little giddy up in his step that time with a little help from Brickowski.
Well, Irvin Johnson starts, but you never usually see him anymore. After Irvin starts, then they bring in Brickowski for most of the rest of the minutes of the game. So now Irvin Johnson will get some quality minutes here. He throws Olajuwon down and intercepts the pass. That's a good way to come in. Shawn Kemp from the outside misses. Rakasner with another rebound. That's his 9th rebound of the game. Well, he knows where to go and get that rebound.
Just hang around that foul line, the perimeter shooting.
Drexler gets a step, puts up the jumper, going to be short. Kemp gets it out to Payton. They're filling the lanes now.
Oh, that's good defense on the part of Clyde Drexler.
And a jump ball is called.
Now, Clyde takes the jump shot, and he's on the baseline, and as the ball goes out, Clyde is the first one to get back and get his hand on that ball to stop it from being an easy layup. And unfortunately, they tied up Rakasner for a jump ball, but Clyde did his job in great transition defense.
Hawkins won the tip. Kemp. I don't know how you make that call from the baseline back there. And Chucky Brown with his 4th personal foul of the game, and Mark Bryant will check in. Both teams with 3 team fouls. 7:57 and counting left to play third period. Payton back out to Schrempf. Gets a step, passes off to Johnson for the easy layup. And again, a 9-point Houston lead, 60-51. Robert Horry gets a step, passes off to Hakeem, spins. Oh, how did he do it? And Seattle throws it away. I think they were still in shock from this move by Olajuwon. He moved himself, Calvin, into a tougher shot and still made it.
On the playground, they call this shot shooting the ball in a Cracker Jack box.
Well, he got the prize.
That's what he did. He got the prize. You got the idea.
There's Drexler getting a step. Nice pass to Bryant. Has it blocked by Johnson. Out of bounds. Houston's ball. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Well, George Karl wanted it off Houston. Call was made by Nice. Robert Horry with a long pass. 10 on the shot clock. Robert has Payton on him. He wants to take him. Now he goes to Drexler. Off to Robert Horry. Missed the shot. Shawn Kemp goes high for the rebound. So Kemp has done a number on the boards. That's his 10th rebound of the game. Robert Horry with a steal. And the foul on Schrempf. So Robert got the ball, and then Schrempf had to foul him to try to get it back, and that's the third foul on Detlef Schrempf.
Boy, I don't know what got into the Rockets tonight, but they're doing a tremendous job with those hands, keeping those hands moving, making the ball handler uncomfortable.
Robert Horry always gets 3 or 4 of those a game, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, because he's very active with his hands.
Pass inside, and Hawkins came over to knock it away from Olajuwon, and we have a timeout on the court. 6:50 left to play in the third period. The Rockets 62, the Sonics 51. And knocked away from Kemp into Drexler in the open court. Seattle did a good job on transition defense. Clyde will wait for help. Olajuwon is the trailer outside, and he lost the ball. Tries to get it back where Kasner saves it. And knocked away from Kemp into Drexler in the open court. Seattle did a good job on transition defense. Clyde will wait for help. Olajuwon is the trailer outside, and he lost the ball. Tries to get it back where Kasner saves it. Drexler is open. Outside to Robert Horry, who has all day for a 3.
There is vintage basketball by Clyde Drexler. He did penetration. The defense was frozen. Robert Horry was spotted up, got the ball into Robert, gave him plenty of time.
Hawkins has to try to shoot it over Hakeem. Drexler tips it to Rick Kasner. Olajuwon forced that miss by Hershey Hawkins. He had to shoot it over him. 5:05 left to play in the third quarter. Down to Hakeem again. He's got Johnson on him. Switches out where Kasner swings it on. Nice passing inside to Bryant. Took too many dribbles. Robert Horry takes it in. Missed it. There was Shawn Kemp affecting Robert's shot. Kemp. And a foul on Bryant. So, Erica Vaughn, thanks for entering our three-point contest. And Gary Payton may be one of your favorite players from now on out because he just won you $100.
From Missouri City.
Yeah.
I live in Missouri City. I wonder if she wants to share some of that $100.
You bet she won't. 10 seconds on the shot clock. McMillan one-on-one with Horry. Johnson takes it inside, shoots it under Hakeem. Kemp gets the offensive rebound, missed it. And a foul is called on Mark Bryant. That's the second foul on Mark Bryant. Both teams are in the penalty the rest of the way. 4:24 left in the quarter.
Green does a nice job making Johnson miss that shot. And as he goes up, I thought I saw a little bit of free arming, but I was wrong.
Bryant got inside position, but it was under the basket, and you don't get many rebounds under the basket.
No, because what happens is obviously you got to reach backwards, and you can't jump very high on the parallel to the floor.
Especially when Shawn Kemp's on your back.
Yeah. Piggybacking.
Yeah. 67-56 Rockets lead. 4:18 left. Rockets have been close to busting out, but haven't quite been able to do it. Robert Horry with a jumper, and he misses from the baseline. Shawn Kemp with the rebound up to Payton. Good defense by Houston on the interior. Payton trying to post up on where Kasner draws a double team. Now Horry goes away. Payton swings into the middle, has it blocked easily by Hakeem. And a one-shot foul on Rick Kasner. That's his third foul of the game.
Well, they're in the penalty anyway, so that gives him 1+ the bonus.
Mm-hmm. So Eldridge with the foul and Payton with the free throw. Gary Payton has played in 337 consecutive games. He has started 234 straight. So that shows you his durability. Cassell now will come in, and Askew will come into the game. And Shawn Kemp will go sit down for Seattle. Gary Payton, the highest player ever drafted by Seattle. He was the second player taken in that 1990 NBA draft. And he's turned out to be a great one. 67-58, Rockets lead.
Who's the highest drafted guard? I'll ask that in a minute.
Tipped away by Payton and a foul in the backcourt.
Who's the highest drafted guard for the Houston Rockets?
For the Rockets?
Yep.
John Lucas.
There it is. Not bad, Billy Bird.
Mm-hmm.
Taken first in the whole NBA draft.
That's right, I remember. Out of the University of Maryland.
He's the reason I became a 2 guard at 5'9".
I'll tell you what, you guys had a great team for the next 3 or 4 years
Sure
until
did.
that team was split up. Should have beat Philadelphia in the playoffs. What, 76?
That's what it was. John on that famous charge, which of course we told you what was going to happen with the Doug Collins on him.
Yeah. Let's look now with Cassell in the game. It changes a little bit. He likes to control the ball, dribble it a lot. And there's Irvin Johnson losing it off his knee, Houston's ball. And you've got to be careful when you dribble the ball a lot around Payton, don't you?
Around Payton, around McMillan.
Yeah. They are really opportunist. They're always in the top 7 or 8 in the NBA in steals. Got to protect the basketball. 67-58, Houston still leading by 9. Irvin Johnson has done a pretty good job on Olajuwon. There's the spin move baseline. Hakeem with 22. The old dream shake baseline does every time.
That was a straight up soda. That was no shake to it.
69-58 Houston. 3:05 left to play in the third quarter. Again, Askew outside. He'll put up an outside shot missing. Robert Horry tips it to Hakeem. Can he handle it? And it's saved by Drexler. Cassell lost the dribble. Now back to Clyde. And Clyde says, clear the floor. I'll work one-on-one with Hakeem. Nice pass inside. Goes for the dunk, and he's fouled. Boy, they read each other's minds perfectly then. Hakeem faked like he was going to post up and went back door. McMillan drew the foul. And we'll have a timeout charged to Seattle. 2:40 left in the third period. Rockets 69, Sonics 58. Leading 2:40 left to play in the third period. Let's go courtside to Lisa Milosky.
Well, Bill, time once again for Prime Sports Spotlight bench production. Rockets with 8 points off the bench, Sonics 13, but the Rockets out rebounding Seattle 8-3, and the Rockets have 4 assists, the Sonics 3. Bill?
All right, thank you, Lisa. We'd like to say hi to a good friend of ours, Lucille Houchins, who is 80 years young and watches all of the Rockets games on television. Her good friend Robert Ross cornered me before the game and wanted to say hi to Lucille. She's a big fan of yours, Calvin.
80 years old.
Yeah.
My kind of people.
Loves the game.
Lucille. Remember who sang that? Little Richard.
Well, I wonder if Lucille knows that.
I just thought I thought it was Lucille. Love you.
Well, Hakeem's 10 free throws tonight are the most he has attempted in the last 7 games, Calvin. In 3 of the last 4, he's had only 2 free throw attempts.
And been scoring 30 points a game.
Inside to Payton, who goes backdoor again.
Sam has got to communicate. If he gets bumped off on that pick, he's got to call for help. Brian had no idea that Payton had come across that key wide open.
71-60, 11-point Houston lead. Drexler outside, shot clock down to 9. Olajuwon, hey, he runs a pick of his own. Well, he got 3 on a nice pick. Irvin Johnson couldn't stay with him. 73-60 Rockets lead.
Well, Irvin, don't feel bad. You're not by yourself. You're not the Lone Ranger.
Olajuwon with 26 points now. They go cross court to Payton, who sets for a quick 3, and he gets it. Well, Gary Payton now 3 of 5 from behind the 3-point line. That's 8 of 19 on threes, 8 of 20 for Houston. So both teams have canceled each other out from behind the arc. Robert Horry down to Drexler, who will work on Hersey Hawkins. Takes it to the middle, forces it up. And a foul is called on Clyde.
That's an example of can't win for losing.
That's the 4th foul on Clyde. Detlef Schrempf and Perkins will check in.
Yeah, Clyde just goes to the basket and he bows his way over to the basket.
But didn't Hawkins reach?
No, he didn't reach. He swung over and committed the foul, and then he had his other hand on Clyde's hip and then bailed out.
10-point lead by the SuperSonics, or by the Rockets over the Sonics. Schrempf taking it inside, and a 2-hand foul on Sam Cassell.
Let's watch Sam now. They call him for having 2 hands in the back. Good call.
Amazing. So Gary Payton will be at the line. Payton going to his 3rd All-Star game in a row. We've got 4 participants here. Payton and Kemp are going, and of course Drexler and Olajuwon will be starting for the West. So they don't like each other much tonight, and they probably will be friendly foes again Tuesday night in Seattle, but they'll be playing for the common cause next Sunday in San Antonio. Robert Horry taking it down. That's a little too tall on the alley-oop for Mark Bryant. And the Rockets lead down to 8, and the Sonics can cut into that here in the final minute of the third quarter. Payton directing traffic. Now the switch. Schrempf wants to take Cassell down low, and he does. Double team. Robert Horry comes over to help out. They get him trapped on the baseline. Illegal defense is called on Houston.
Let's take a look and see if we can see the illegal D. Robert Horry goes over to support Sam Cassell on Schrempf. There it is right there. There it is. There's the culprit. Mark Bryant was standing in the key area guarding no one.
That's a technical, so Schrempf will shoot the free throw. Pete Chilcutt will come in for Olajuwon for the final 45 seconds. Pete, a good outside shooter. 73-65 Rockets. Calvin Murphy telling Jack Neese got that right. There's Perkins with a turnaround, misses the shot. Robert Horry tips it over to Mark Bryant. Rick Hasner now will bring it up. Nope, Cassell will. 7-point Houston lead, 73-66. Kasner jump shot baseline, rims it out, tough shot, won't go. Here's Payton on the run. 10 seconds left, up ahead to Detlef Schrempf. He drew the foul, stepped over, tried to draw the foul from Robert Horry, and that's a cheap foul, I think. I just don't believe this. Robert did everything in the world to avoid it. And Detlef Schrempf moves in front of Horry. Now watch this. He does everything he can to draw the foul. No, that's no foul.
That's terrible. That's terrible. That's terrible.
3-point play for Schrempf, and it's down to a 4-point game. 9-0 run by Seattle. Rockets have 2 seconds left, and Horry falls down, and there's the Seattle run you were expecting tonight. The Seattle Sonics in the final minute of the third quarter run off 9 unanswered points. And here we go to the final 12 minutes of this game, and the Rockets lead by 4. Rockets led, 73-60. Had a 16-point lead at one time, and Seattle has come storming back. Down to Olajuwon, 5 on the shot clock, where Kasner swings it to Sam. Sam sets for a 3, and that's a big one.
Kasner does a nice job. He actually had a shot, recognized that Sam was open, and we got it to him.
Perkins on the drive, missed it, and a foul call. And a technical foul is called on Robert Horry. Sam Cassell was called for a foul.
And Robert Horry
got the technical. Can you believe Detlef Schrempf misses another tee?
Guilty. Felt guilty about it.
Well, Shawn Kemp is well rested. During this 13-0 run by the Sonics, Mr. Kemp has been on the bench. How about that?
That's not a good sign for the Rockets.
No, it isn't, because now he's back and fresh. Perkins will get a couple. It's a good free throw shooting team, Seattle. For the most part, all of their significant players are good free throw shooters, except for McMillan and Johnson. Rockets still lead by 1, 76-75. 9:38 and counting left to play in this game. Drexler on the run. Oh, to Robert Horry! Beautiful pass from Drexler. Askew backing in. Perkins all alone for three. Banged it off the glass. Drexler gets it up to Olajuwon. He's got the numbers. Gives it up to Clyde for a three from way downtown, and he missed it. 78-75. Perkins will wait. Goes to Schrempf now. Double team on Detlef Schrempf. Back to the middle to Askew. And he's fouled by Eldridge Rick Hasner. Fourth foul on Rick Hasner. Mark Bryant checks in for Houston. And Sam Cassell comes out of the game, so Rudy going big now. Bryant, Olajuwon, and Horry. He probably had to do that when Kemp came back.
Yes, that's true. And Rudy's good for playing matchups.
Well, the Sonics are helping out a little bit. That's the ninth free throw they've missed. They're 19 of 28 from the line. They've been to the line 28 times. The Rockets only 13. Rockets have 26 fouls in this game. The Sonics only 13 fouls.
Well, there's the game right there. They've got themselves back involved just by getting on that foul line. The Rockets have to work for everything they get.
Of course, they're driving a little more than Houston is, creating some of those plays. Robert Horry misses the three, and Shawn Kemp with a rebound. That's his 15th rebound of the game. Detlef Schrempf from the outside. Rolls across the iron. Askew knocks it out of bounds.
Rockets ball.
The Rockets still clinging to a 2-point lead. Well, Wednesday evening at 6:30 on Prime Sports, don't miss our High School Extra National Signing Day special with Bobby Burton, publisher of National Recruiting Advisor. We'll have the up-the-minute signing information of high school football's top recruits. Wednesday at 6:30 here on Prime Sports. Well, Robert Horry, I don't know who he was throwing that to.
He was throwing the ball to Drexler underneath the basket, but the defense was too close around that key. This was a very ill-advised pass.
Payton from the outside. You've got to score now. The Sonics are not scoring, and the Rockets are throwing it away at the other end. They've got to get a good shot. 78-76 Houston. 7:50 left to play in the game. Drexler takes it over to Olajuwon. Perkins spinning Hakeem, and Payton comes over and almost got the steal. Crowd a little angry. They wanted a tee called on Payton. 7 seconds now for the Rockets to get off a shot. Down to 4, down to 3. Drexler misses, and Payton. He had to force that up. Payton down court to Askew. Oh, he traveled all over the place and gets the call. I think Rudy helped make that call.
Yes, he did.
He was running stride for stride with Ron Alesiak. That's as quick as I've seen Rudy T move in a long time. We got a timeout on the court. 7:32 left to play. Rockets lead it with 7:32 left. Here is tonight's opponent's turnovers leaders, brought to you by your Texas Dodge dealers. Seattle forces the most at 19 a game. Right on down, Washington, Chicago, and the Clippers. There isn't a category the Bulls don't lead in, or not in the top 3, and that's what's happened tonight. And they're right on it, aren't they? The Sonics 17 turnovers, the Rockets with 18. Those Bulls are something else. Will they ever lose again?
I tell you what, that's legit. Now they're beating, we talk about playing just the teams in the East, they're beating everybody up.
Yeah, they are. But you don't have to worry about them anymore unless you get to the final. Now to Olajuwon posting up, Rockets holding. Oh, a nice move around Perkins for 2. He went around the double team. I think Perkins was expecting him to go back to the middle for some reason.
Well, he wasn't there.
Yeah, 28 points for the Dream. 80-76 Houston, 7 minutes left to play in the game. Askew running the show as they'll run Payton off the picks. Trying to get Payton posting up with Hasner. They got what they want with 5 left on the shot clock. Payton taking it in, blocked shot out of bounds.
By Hasner.
2 seconds left on the shot clock as Hersey Hawkins and Nate McMillan will check back into the game. So again now, George Karl going small. And he has that luxury. He's 9 deep on his bench. 9 deep with quality. 2 seconds left. Schrempf has to force one up. He misses it, and Olajuwon takes it away from Nate McMillan.
He didn't want to tie up. He didn't want to jump ball. This is why Anthony works with him on his strength.
That's right. Anthony Falsone, the strength coach for the Rockets. Olajuwon's one of his best pupils. Drexler in heavy traffic, and he threw it right to McMillan. Here's Payton on the fast break. Throws one up, and it goes in. Boy, is he tough on any of those shots. Gary Payton, what a game for Payton. 27 points for Payton. 29 is his season high. Rockets lead by 2. Down to Mark Bryant. Puts it up for 2. Good pass to the weak side, 82-78, Houston.
That's where the Sonics are vulnerable defensively, is on the weak side. They play so much passing lane on the ball.
And a foul on Mark Bryant. Robert Horry came over to block the shot, but Bryant was called for the foul prior to that. Bryant with 3 fouls, 5 for Cassell. He's out of the game. Drexler and Rakasner with 4 apiece. Brown has 4. The Sonics have attempted 16 more free throws than Houston, and that's the difference in this game right now. 20 of 29 from the line for Seattle, 11 of 13 for Houston. It's almost like we're playing on the road.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good statement, Bill. That's true.
And Kemp will get another. He's only scored 10 points tonight, so that's 11 below his season average, but he has 15 rebounds. So he has kept them in the game. He's the only rebounder of note for Seattle tonight. He gets both free throws. 82-80. Rockets clinging to that 2-point lead with 5:50 left to play. Kasner down to Olajuwon, draws the double team. Hakeem looking over, takes it to the middle. Hook shot won't go. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. And a foul is called on Detlef Schrempf for hitting Olajuwon on the head.
Now, Dream got to be careful.
That's only the first team foul on the Sonics. The Rockets have 4.
Dream has already received 1 technical. Now, he's got to be careful. He was just having a few words with Jack Neese. He doesn't need another one. That would give him an early exit.
And he pulls the string on that free throw. Now 6 of 9 from the line for Olajuwon. 28 points, 11 rebounds for the Dream. That's better release. 7 of 10 from the line for the Dream. 83-80 Rockets. 5:35 left to play in the game. Taking it down, Payton loses the ball, but it goes right out to Schrempf. They keep it rotating. Taking it down to Shawn Kemp, and a foul is called on Mark Bryant.
Foul is called on Houston's number 2, Mark Bryant, his 4th. That's the 15th foul against the Rockets. They're over the
15th foul on Houston, so the Rockets are already over the limit, and the Sonics with only 1 team foul. Kemp is a 70% free throw shooter, and he has not missed a free throw tonight. Sam Cassell prepares to check back into the game.
Number 10, Sam Cassell returns.
Sam comes in, and Mark Bryant goes out, so what rotation will they use now? They got Horry going big again? Kemp finally misses. That leaves the Rockets with a 2-point lead, 83-81.
I tell you, right now you have Hersey Hawkins on for Casner. He's going to be the man that's going to lead to rotate off. If you can get the ball back over to the other side, Rakasner's going to be open.
Olajuwon has Kemp right behind him, takes it to the middle, reaching foul on Nate McMillan.
Sonics foul number 10, Nate McMillan, his third.
Third foul on McMillan. Well, Rockets fans, the Rocket Shop is now open in Memorial City Mall. Get your authentic Rockets game jerseys and new Rockets merchandise from the store with the largest selection of Rockets gear anywhere. The Rocket Shop now featuring new Texas Terror merchandise as well. The Rocket Shop in Memorial City Mall. I'm sure you can find plenty of those number 34s in there. 30 points for the Dream. He's number 3 in the NBA in scoring, and he missed it there.
I was holding my breath. I didn't like the way that shot was taken. There was no rotation, and he didn't use the ball.
Hawkins with a 3. And that ties it up at 84, so Seattle trailing by as many as 16 points. The Sonics have finally caught the Rockets with 4:47 left.
They're going to try to trap on any sidelines. They're going to try to trap over there.
There's a trap on Olajuwon. They swing it over Cassell. 3 seconds left. Hawkins got a block. Tipped outside by Seattle, and a 24-second violation will be called.
24-second violation.
Didn't they have possession of the ball?
I don't think so. The ball was blocked, and it never got to the rim. And they had to. I don't know that anybody ever had really possession of the ball, and it will be Seattle's ball now, as Perkins will be in the game along with Schrempf and Kemp, Hawkins, and Payton. Detlef Schrempf will back it in on Clyde. Drexler takes it to the middle with a sweeping hook shot. That won't go, and Kemp knocks it out of bounds.
Rocket ball.
So the Rockets get it back, all tied at 84. 4:16 left to play, and right now, Calvin, it's whoever executes going down the stretch.
That's right. Whoever can come up with the biggest execution and get the closest shot, the best shot. The perimeter game right now is going null and void for both teams, so you want to get that ball as close to the basket as possible.
Kasner back out to Sam. Robert Horry gets a good look on a 3, but released very poorly and off the hands of Perkins.
Jump ball.
Oh, no. They're going to. They can't agree, and so there'll be a jump ball.
They can agree not to give it to the Rockets. That's the agreement.
And we have a timeout charged to Seattle with 3:56 left to play, and this game is up for grabs. Portions of tonight's game are brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Play the game of Texas. And by the employee owners of Avis. We're into the future, into it now, trying harder than ever. Well, Calvin, right now it's all tied up with 3:56 left. You got you a whole bunch of chocolate chip cookies over here again tonight from a bunch of fans.
I got fans that love me, Bill. They love us.
Amy, Jared,
Megan. I think that's...
Show them what they did. They put your number on this one.
Yeah, we got to see this one here. Let's get it up close here. It says number 23. It's a chocolate chip with the Rocket logo on it.
And I'm hiding this one.
And, oh, there it is. Here's a good look at it. Now, the unfortunate thing about this wonderful-looking cookie is that I'm going to eat it. Bill, you're stealing one from me over there.
Well, no, I didn't.
Hey, keep your hands off of my chocolate chips.
You know that card says save a bite for Bill.
Hey, I wrote that to be nice. I changed my mind.
All right, now Olajuwon will jump against Perkins. This will be a tough jump for Hakeem because Perkins with those long arms. And you got to get a good throw-up from Jack Neese.
Good throw-up, huh?
He's making me throw up tonight. Oh,
no!
Payton got it. Takes it up, blocked. Ball is loose on the floor, picked up again by Hawkins, and he's tied up, and a foul is whistled on Sam Cassell. And that's number 6 on Sam. Rockets didn't get one bounce on that possession. The jump was won by Hakeem, where Kasner couldn't control it. Then a great block by Drexler following the play, and Sam is... I'm trying to think if that's the first time he's ever fouled out of a Rockets game. Let's go to Lisa now, courtside.
Well, Bill, in that last huddle, Rudy warned his players about the fast break off the jump ball. He said in the very last game, Seattle got a fast break off the jump ball. What do you know? That's exactly what happened.
Yep.
Bill?
Well, the one thing that the Rockets have always been very prepared. As much film as the Rockets watch, they know everything the other team's going to do.
This is the first lead of the game for Seattle. Everybody on that court now for Seattle in double figures. Hawkins with 14 points. And the Sonics lead at 86-84. Execution down the stretch has been the biggest problem for the Rockets this season. And that's something that was always their strong suit. They just haven't been able to execute the plays in the close games. Swinging it around now again.
Bring it back to Rakasna.
Olajuwon.
There it is. There it is. There it is. Bang!
Calvin Murphy makes the call. And the Rockets lead by 1.
Oh, I'm telling you, if they're rotating off of him, that makes him wide open.
Payton. Hawkins misses. Tipped again to Payton. New 24. Perkins fires up a 3. Sam Perkins with a big 3 with 2:45 left. That puts the Sonics back on top, 89-87. Perkins has broken Houston's heart before, especially when he was with the Lakers. He used to hit some big, big threes. He does it again. Sonics lead it by 2 with 2:44 left to play in the game. Eldridge Rakasner with his 5th three-pointer of the game. That ties his season high against Detroit. But Sam Perkins comes back with his 3rd triple of the game. And the two teams have battled it from the three-point line in their all equal terms. Here we go. 2:40 left. They got the ball in Bryant's hands. That's what Seattle wants to do. Now finally Drexler has it. 10 on the shot clock. They're going to trap him. Back to Rakasner again. Rockets haven't had a good look. Now they do. 4 seconds left. Olajuwon.
Move. Inside pivot foot.
Boy, he got hammered too, and no whistle. What is it? Game tied at 89. 2:12 left. The crowd wants defense. Well, an isolation violation. You see the 3 Sonics on the above the free throw line on the same side of the court. That was Hawkins and Kemp and Perkins. You can't do that anymore. They put that rule in about 3 seasons ago in the NBA. The Rockets now with the ball and a chance to take the lead.
2 minutes in the quarter, 2 minutes.
Robert Horry looking for Mark Bryant.
Take it weak side. All right, well, let's step down.
Oh, Robert Horry with a 3. What a big shot. Kemp working it outside. Olajuwon blocks it. Ball is loose. Mark Bryant has it. Hold it. Olajuwon make a play on Kemp. Now to Hakeem. Robert Horry passes up the 3. There's a steal by Payton. Knocked away by Horry.
Timeout.
And a timeout taken by Seattle. 1:26 left. The Rockets lead it 92-89. A clutch three-pointer from Robert Horry. We are seeing some big-time shooting here tonight. Boy, he wanted that too, Calvin. He never hesitated. Now,
You know, I was complaining in the middle of this shot to swing that ball weak side because Rakasner was wide open again, but Robert saw where they bailed out and backed off of him, and he had that concentration. Hey, I was wrong. I apologize to Mr. Horry. Great shot.
All right, now, let me keep you abreast of what's going on here. The Rockets have 5 team fouls. The Sonics still have a foul to give. without sending Houston to the line. And the timeout situation, both teams have identical timeouts remaining, both with 2 full timeouts and a 20. This was a game the Rockets had charge of early in the first half. They had as much as a 16-point lead, and in fact had a 13-point lead with about 2 minutes left to play in the third period. Then the Sonics scored 13 points in a row to tie it up.
Well, the Rockets are up 3 points right now, so if I'm the Rockets giving instructions down there defensively, I want to guard against that 3-point shot. The worst that can happen is if they score, we get the ball back still leading by 1.
Well, Lisa's over there snooping around. What did you find out, Lisa?
Snoopy.
That's it. Well, first of all, let me tell you, Prime Sports Spotlight, once again, bench production. Sonics, 19 points off the bench. The Rockets, 13. Rockets out-rebounding the Sonics 10-5, and the assists are even at 4. By the way, Rudy T told his players, don't give up any 3-pointers. That's the key. Bill, Calvin?
Well,
how about that?
That's just what you said. Sam Cassell really the only points for Houston, and the rest of the points off the bench usually come from Mario Elie. They're both sitting over there with Rudy. Rockets will have to gut this one out without them. 92-89, leading it by 3, 1:26 left. This is a huge possession for both teams here, of course. It goes unsaid. Rockets need a defensive stop here. Payton out to Hawkins, gets a good look on a 3, and he cans it. Hersey Hawkins with a 3-pointer to tie it at 92. Rick Kasner down to Olajuwon, gets it right back, right down to Hakeem, takes it to the middle, off to Drexler. Robert Horry's open for another 3. No, off the back of the iron. Drexler gets it back. 1 minute left. Rockets with a fresh 24 seconds. Hakeem gets a double-triple team. Back out to Rick Kasner. Horry again takes it to the middle, and he's fouled by Shawn Kemp. Now, that doesn't send anybody to the line. That's a foul they had to give up, so the Rockets will get the ball back here with 47.5 seconds left, and the Rockets will use a timeout. So both teams now will be in the penalty for the final 47.5 seconds. The Rockets will have 1 full plus a 20. Seattle will have 2 fulls and a 20. Now the Rockets can take the clock down a little bit and get 2 for 1 here if they so choose, right?
Well, not if they
main
so
thing you
choose.
want to do at this stage of the game, though, is get a good shot.
Get a good shot. That's right. Not only do they want to get a good shot, but it's imperative that they get themselves in a situation to get 2 for. In case they don't score, they come back and get scored on. They still have the last chance. They have their destiny in their own hands.
Sam Cassell has already fouled out of this game. You won't have anybody from Seattle really in foul trouble except Rakowski, and he's sitting the rest of this game out. All of the fouls have been called on the Rockets for the most part here. The Rockets have 29 personal fouls to 16 for Seattle in tonight's game. Now, Calvin, the Rockets are working it down to Olajuwon, and he is being triple teamed. That leaves something open.
But Olajuwon is getting that ball out quickly. That's what he's done well. That has given the 3-point shooters a chance to look at that basket. Now, what needs to be done offensively is if
it looked like this, it's almost assured of going in. It did. Both teams with 11 3-pointers in this game. Well, we're down to the winning time for Houston. That's the timeouts remaining for both teams.
And McMillan, their best defensive guard, is being inserted into the game, and you can be assured that they're going to put him on Clyde Drexler to keep Clyde from being able to go to the basket.
Rockets will have a full 24 seconds on the shot clock. Now, McMillan is matched up with Rick Kasner. Schrempf comes over on the double team. That leaves Mark Bryant open. Mark spinning, draws the man to him, missed the shot. Tipped outside to Payton. And a 20-second timeout taken by George Karl, and he'll come right back with Hersey Hawkins now in place of McMillan. Seattle now has 2 full timeouts remaining. The Rockets have 1 plus a 20. And Bryant got as good a look as you're going to get.
Nice move, nice little spin move. He gets Perkins up on off his feet. I think he missed that layup looking for the foul.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think he expected a whistle here. But tonight the Rockets can't expect any whistles because they're not getting any.
They are.
No. Well, look, they've been doubled. They've doubled the other team in fouls called. They're just not getting it. Well, the Rockets need a stop here, Calvin. 32.7 left. And as we told you before the game, the Sonics have won the last 5 games between these two teams. They've been able to come up with a big play. Let's see if the Rockets can.
They're going to run Payton down low in a post-up. Inverted offense.
Double team coming over on Payton. Back out to Detlef Schrempf for a three-pointer. Missed it. Rick Hasner with a rebound, and the Rockets will call a timeout with 15 seconds left to win this game. They got what they wanted. They got their best, maybe three-point shooter, Detlef Schrempf, wide open for the three-pointer, and he missed. And the Rockets call the timeout.
Yeah, great defense on the part of the Rockets because Robert Horry runs at the shooter, makes him take a little higher arc than he's accustomed to. That wasn't a natural shot.
And Rick Hasner with his 10th rebound of the game.
He's played some type of a game, hasn't he, Bill?
Listen to this line. Rick Hasner has 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists.
Those are the kind of numbers you got to have out of your starting guard.
All right, now the Rockets will have 1 20-second timeout remaining. Seattle still has 2 full timeouts remaining. So, Calvin, what is Rudy cooking up over there in the huddle?
That's kind of difficult to assess at this time of the game, but I would like to see a two-man game. I'd like to see a two-man game on the side with Olajuwon involved, because if he sets that pick, he's going to get a smaller player on his back than Clyde. As you know, once he's penetrating, he'll get that ball to the open man.
Yeah.
But you got to have a two-way option. You just don't want to settle for just a perimeter shot. They don't need a three. It's a tie game. Go to the basket, get the best shot available.
All right, it's awfully tough because referees will not give you a whistle in the final 15 seconds, so I doubt, even if there's contact, whether there'll be a foul call. So you want to get as good a look as you possibly can. And if you shoot it too soon, you'll give Seattle the final shot. The Rockets probably would like to take the clock down to, what, about 7?
About 7 and 6. Make sure that if Seattle gets the ball back, they'll only have maybe 3 seconds to get a shot off once they call the timeout.
All right, here we go. Hold on to your hats. Put on your seatbelts. It's winning time for the Houston Rockets. Execution is what you need now. 15 seconds left for all the marbles.
Be careful with them playing the passing lane. If you don't throw the ball towards half court, it is intercepted.
Right. Robert Horry will inbound the ball. Gives it up to Clyde. Drexler has the game in his hands. 6 seconds. 5 seconds. Clyde will pull up and hit a three. He missed it. Going to the glass. Shawn Kemp. No time left. We're headed for overtime. Detlef Schrempf was playing way off of Clyde Drexler, so they weren't giving up the drive. They were going to be beaten by the three if that's what he got. He got a good look. He put it up, and it went off the back of the iron. And here we go for 5 more minutes of action. Stay with us on Prime Sports as we take another look.
Well, Clyde got a good look at the basket. Unfortunately, it didn't fall. But Detlef Schrempf did exactly what you're supposed to do defensively. Back off. Don't allow him to get inside. You got to go with the lesser of two evils. You give him the perimeter and keep him out of the middle. And Clyde, they know if they give him a toenail pass of defense, he's gone.
Yeah, and they were not giving him anything. In case you wonder, on overtime games this season, Seattle is 1-2. Houston is 0-1. So neither team has done especially well in overtime games this season. Even before George Karl was there, but it's a very athletic team that presses all over the court, and he's got to feel good about going to overtime.
Yeah, he was down 16.
Yeah, he's down 16 points. Rockets had a chance to put it away, couldn't do it. And Shawn Kemp gets the tip.
Hershey Hawkins, Hershey Hawkins hit that big three-pointer out of that corner and then followed back up with Perkins. That brought the game back into perspective for them.
Looking down to Payton, posting up again on Rickasner. Payton taking it in with a left-handed shot for two. Gary Payton with a new season high now of 29 points. Olajuwon passes out of a double team to Robert Horry. 8 on the shot clock. Robert on the run down to Hakeem. Tough pass, tougher shot. He draws a foul, and Hakeem will go to the line. Payton with the foul.
That was a very dangerous pass on Robert's part. Robert did a nice job on the penetration. He had a better look actually going to the basket. Now, here's the penetration. Now, as he gets back past Kemp, he's up. He doesn't even look at the basket. He had a chance to score. He threw the ball back into traffic. Green was lucky to be fouled.
I think he was behind the glass, though.
Well, he was behind the glass because he never looked to go at that basket. You've got to look at the offensive glass. You've got to look to score to keep the defense honest. Once you leave the floor, you don't really want to pass the ball anyway, Bill. You want to look for the shot.
All right.
I wouldn't lie to you.
Hakeem with 2 pressure free throws, 34 points for the Dream. Game tied again at 94. Payton taking it down on the baseline again. Back outside. Schrempf goes a little closer for the jumper and misses. Well, he took a couple of steps in. He had a wide open 3. Still had a wide open 2. Olajuwon draws triple coverage. Well, 2.5 maybe. Kasner down to Hakeem again. He'll shoot it from 17, misses, and Shawn Kemp with his 17th rebound of the game. Perkins going down to Payton again. Payton over to Kemp. Takes it inside for the slam. Shawn Kemp with 16 points, 17 rebounds. And the Sonics lead at 96-94. I think Kemp hurt his hand on that slam.
He has a bad finger anyway.
Double team on Hakeem. Horry takes it right back to him.
That's a zone. They're playing the passing lanes. That's why they intercept so many balls. That one, I knew was going to be intercepted when I saw them playing the passing lane.
Now Hawkins lost the ball, and the Rockets get a break.
That is great defense on the part of Seattle. They're double teaming everything on the sideline, and they're playing the passing lane away from the ball, hoping that a pass is going to be floated, and they have an opportunity to intercept.
Floated's the key word. There's Robert Horry on the drive. He finger rolls it up and misses, and Kemp with his 18th rebound of the game. 96-94. Quickly to Schrempf, back outside. Hawkins passes up the 3 for the layup. A semi-layup. He kind of a runner for Hawkins. And Rudy calls a timeout. 98-94, Sonics lead it, and I think this is the largest lead of the game for Seattle, 4 points. Well, what were your keys? Do you remember before the game?
Well, one of the keys was to slow Payton down.
They haven't done that.
That didn't work.
Nope.
They did a nice job in the first half on the glass and spread the floor offensively. Well, by spreading the floor is one thing, but you got to recognize how the defense is playing you. The defense is playing the passing lane, so they're cutting off the step that you normally would get with a spread floor.
Gary Payton in his everyday work.
Every day. Now that's a big time. That's a big time pass by Detlef Schrempf. Once a touch pass, once he received it, to get it over to Hershey Hawkins with the defense running at him. If I get a defensive man running at me, I'm going to show him the ball and do just what Hershey did. Go around him, take a nice little shot over it.
Rockets winning team rebounds, although the Sonics have closed dramatically here in about the last 10 or 12 minutes. So Rudy trying to find something that will work. The Sonics, one of the better defensive teams always in the NBA, and they have done a great job of hanging in here. The Rockets had them by as many as 16 points early, but they didn't fade. They hung in, and they used their extensive bench. Houston's bench is basically Sam Cassell now. Mario Elie will miss another couple of months, and Sam just didn't have it going tonight.
so often like the Rockets, what Seattle did to get back in the game is they turned their defense up another notch. They started coming up with some steals. They started coming up with some long rebounds, and they converted both of those into easy baskets.
Well, the point you make is we're halfway through overtime, and we haven't broken 100 yet. It's still 98-94 Seattle. Rockets still have 2 timeouts plus a 20. Seattle has 3. No 20. Drexler. Offensive foul called on Clyde Drexler. And a technical foul has been called on Drexler. I don't know what anybody said to Jack Neese before he showed up tonight, but he has been in a foul mood. And all the fouls have been going against the Rockets. Big technical because that gives the Sonics now a 5-point lead. And the ball. 2:23 left in overtime. Payton looking for a pick from Perkins. Picked up by Bryant. Pass inside to Hawkins. And Seattle will get the ball back with 6 seconds on the shot clock. And a timeout taken by Seattle. 2:05 left to play. Rockets can't get a call tonight. Fouls and 3 technicals have been called against Houston. Only 17 fouls against Seattle. Been tough.
It's tough to win that way.
Rockets were desperately in need of this win here tonight, Calvin, to try to keep pace with Utah and San Antonio.
Plus, they're going to go. The next game is going to be in Seattle.
Yep, that's Tuesday night. Rockets go on the road for 2 more games in Seattle and against the Clippers in L.A. Tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock on Prime Sports, we'll continue our coverage of Southeast Conference. Rockets just, we talked about it in Charlotte the other night. The Rockets have won 17 of the 19 games against Charlotte. They've had their number since Charlotte came into existence in 88-89. Seattle has had Houston's number all the way through the decade of the 90s.
It wasn't too bad in the 80s when I played either, Bill.
Really? Always tough to play them up there?
It's always tough to play them up there. We can beat them here.
They've had
Remember, they won the championship during the 80s with Brown and Freddie Brown and that group.
(99-94), Seattle leads it. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. The Sonics will bring it in. Perkins pops out for a 3. Missed it. Drexler to Robert Horry, and he's fouled. Boy, I tell you, they didn't have to foul Robert. He put himself in such bad position he couldn't have made the shot anyway. And the first foul on Perkins. Now, Perkins has played 28 minutes, and he picks up his first foul of the game.
In overtime.
And he's been guarding Olajuwon.
In overtime. Boy, I wish I could play defense that foul-free.
All right, Robert will have one more. 1:57 left to play. Still plenty of time. Rockets just have to have some stops defensively.
That's right. It's all about defense for the Rockets now.
3-point game. 99-96. Sonics lead it. Kastner will pressure the ball with Hawkins. Letting Hawkins bring it up and posting up Payton. Now Drexler's on Payton. This is switch here. Little bigger guard. Payton on the drive. Hey, they throw it away. Payton bounced pass to Kemp. I don't think Kemp thought that pass was intended for him. He let it go.
He didn't think it was going to get through, is what it was. Then all of a sudden it was on top of him.
Rockets need a 3 to tie, a 2 to get within 1. 1:28 left. Olajuwon back to Recasner. He'll pump up a jumper. Yes. Two-pointer for Eldridge Recasner.
Oh, I like that young man.
17 points for Recasner, and it's a 1-point Sonics lead.
Well, what they got to do now, they got to come up with one more big defensive stop without a foul.
The crowd yelling for defense. 105, 106. 8 seconds left. Hawkins over Olajuwon. Big shot by Hersey Hawkins. Recasner played tough defense on him, and a timeout taken by Houston.
Well, that's 51 points in the backcourt for Seattle tonight.
Isn't that something? You're right. 51 points. Hawkins with 22. Payton with 29. 16 for Kemp. 13 for Schrempf. 13 for Perkins off the bench. 34 for Olajuwon. 16 for Horry. 17 for Recasner.
Recasner does a nice job just getting them off their feet. See, there's one thing you can't do when you're on the same side as Olajuwon is you can't leave, if you're a shooter, leave that person to go and double team and try to get back in time if the ball is moved quickly.
Boy, Recasner stayed on the ground, did everything possible. Hakeem came over just a little late.
Hakeem touched that ball on the bottom, and it's still cleaned up the board. If we can run that back just one more time, I believe Green touched that ball on the bottom, and it still got enough glass.
I didn't think he got over there in time, but your eyes are still pretty good.
Yeah, well, let's check it out in slow motion. They ain't that good.
You can have my glasses, though, when you miss this call.
No, Bill, your glasses come from one of them cheap places like the dime store. They want a three-point shot.
You want a good shot.
They want a good shot, but they can't shy away from the three in this instance. But they've got to score. That's a must.
Recasner will take it over to Olajuwon's side. There's the entry pass to Hakeem.
Notice they're not leaving him. They didn't leave Recasner, giving Olajuwon a chance to play one-on-one.
Here's the biggest series, the biggest possession of the game.
And they're going to go with the guards. They're going to do an inverted offense. There we go. They're going to take Payton down low.
They're going to run it Payton with everybody but the kitchen sink. Perkins with a three.
Oh, that's a big offensive rebound.
Oh, it is, too, because now they can almost run the clock all the way down.
They're going to run it down in 2 seconds.
They don't have to take a shot.
At all. The Rockets have got to foul. The Rockets have got to go out and foul and stop, and that clock goes
but
down.
But they'll get the ball. 10. They'll get the ball again.
Yes, they will. It'll be a 3-point shot.
Payton with a three.
I told you.
A cold-blooded three from Gary Payton, and there's your man tonight. Gary Payton sticks a dagger in the hearts of the Rockets. Payton with 32 points, a new season high for Gary Payton. He's done it all here tonight. He's also had 8 assists and 7 rebounds.
Well, Kemp makes this play possible when he sees the defense running off and leaving Payton. Now, Payton was on the same side of the floor as Kemp. You run back to double Kemp, he gets the ball back out on the same side immediately. This is what I was talking about with Olajuwon and Recasner.
There it is again, and Kemp wide open. Now, Payton also is 1 point short of his career high of 33 points, and he has had a career-type game tonight against the Rockets. And again, the Rockets, Calvin, really not executing down the stretch either of the regular part of the game or in overtime, and that has hurt them all season long. And that's what you have to do to get some practices. I think Rudy and the coaching staff have been on the road so much. I'd like to get this team back in the gym again and work on closing off some games. They really need to. But that man right there, Gary Payton, you can't take it away from this Seattle team. This is a great team. All they have to do now is get past the first round of the playoffs. They do everything else in the regular season. Well, what do? You're down by 4. You have to take a quick shot, hope it goes in, and then foul Seattle.
Boy, you're asking a lot.
Well, could happen.
Oh, yeah, it happened with Indiana and New York, remember?
Recasner for a three. He got it! 3.7 left. You got to foul Schrempf, and Henry James fouls Detlef Schrempf with 2.1 left. Well, he's got to hit them both.
Boy, Rukasna came up big with that one.
Now, you can hit both free throws, and it's still a 3-point game.
You call a timeout, get it at half court, you have an opportunity to tie.
Now, the Rockets don't want to call a timeout here, do they?
No, they
had one to give. That's right. So they got to give another one because.
Oh, that's tough.
That's right. And they get it into Schrempf, and he's fouled by Henry James with 1.8.
That's still enough time to get a shot, Bill. It was interesting. The crowd was headed up to the exit. As soon as that ball hit the court, everybody came back down to their seats.
Yeah.
They don't want to see the Rockets lose this.
The Rockets are only 1-6 in games decided by 2 points or less. That's, again, points up to what we were talking about a moment ago of execution. Now, let's say Schrempf makes both free throws. It'll be 106 to 103, so the Rockets will still have a shot at tying the game, even if he makes both freebies. Mark Bryant will check in for Henry James, who committed a couple of fouls while he was in there. If you're Schrempf, you got to make one and miss the second.
And miss the second one. That's right. And he missed the first one. Now he's going to miss the second one.
I hope he makes it, because then the Rockets get it.
He's going to miss it deliberately. There it is, game time.
That's what it took. He missed both free throws, and that was the best thing that could happen to Seattle. So a big game, another season high for Gary Payton, as he finishes tonight with 32 points, one shy of his career high. And for the 6th game in a row, the Sonics beat the Rockets 104 to 103 in overtime.